Hello everybody. This is a special video I'm making because I wanted to go over something that happened at the Pride Parade that I found interesting. So I don't normally make videos like this, but here we are. So this past weekend was DC's Pride festivities, and I had a show that day, a comedy event, so I went and did that. Before the show, we went ahead, my boyfriend and I, we went to the Pride Parade on Saturday ahead of the show later, and it was fun by all accounts. We were out there in the thick of it. You'll see us in a sec because we're actually in a video that's going to be part of this. But we were down there right in the thick of it, right up against the gates, watching most of the parade. I'd say we caught a majority of it from the beginning, and it was going well until a guy got smushed by his own float. That was pretty wild. He got kind of caught in the wheel or in the yeah, that's not on video, sadly. I would have loved to put that on live leaks or something, but we didn't get that, and I'm sure he's fine. He didn't die, but he was injured. And after that happened, there was like Israeli supporters, Israel representatives. I don't know even what to call these people, because it seemed like a ragtag group of individuals who were there just to show support for Israel. We couldn't really tell what was going on. We knew that there were a lot of embassies there. We had seen a few already. We saw Germany. We had seen New Zealand. By that point, Britain, England, and Scotland, for some reason, were hand in hand. I thought that was weird. I thought they had a falling out some time ago, but I guess they're shipped again, which is lovely. But Israel comes up, and they have these big gay pride flags with the Star of David on them, and it's maybe like all of like 3 to 5 people carrying these flags, and no big banner. No, it was not like the representation was sparse, I'll say. They didn't have a float. They didn't have a lot to really work with, but they were there. And as they turned the corner and began to approach us, my boyfriend and I, where we were standing, the whole time we were behind this young couple. This young couple was, doing their thing, enjoying themselves. Straight couple. I don't know if they were a couple or not. I guess I'm doing too much, but it was a guy and a girl. They both seemed like straight people, but they were like, living it up, doing their thing. And we were right behind them, clamoring for all the things that get thrown into the crowd. They're throwing candy at the crowd. They're throwing bracelets, merch, fans, anything you can catch or get hit by. They're throwing beads, all of it, and not needle beads, necklaces. And we're trying to get some of it. Like, we just want a beer koozie, something, and whatever they got like duplicates of, they would like hand back to people behind them. So we were kind of getting their surplus merchandise. But at a certain point, there was enough space next to them, or in the general area, that we were able to get our own space, get right up against the railing. And as the Jewish representatives, gay representatives, I don't know what to call them. I don't think it was the Jewish embassy. I really don't. And we're going to watch a video, like I was saying. We're going to watch a video that I found that explains why I don't even think that they were connected to the embassy at all. This is all just like crazy. I'm going to have to edit this down. I'm talking way too much. But anyway, what was I saying? The Israeli Pride people, they come over to walk the parade, but then this young couple, the girl who's with the guy, she starts, as soon as she sees that they're associated with Israel, she goes, "Oh my God, no! Why are they here?" And she's like making a big fuss. It's just like, regular old college age white lady behavior, I would say, par for the course right now. and she's like speaking everything out loud, like this is just something she could be thinking to herself, but she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna look something up in Yiddish to yell at them. I'm gonna look up something in their language." And so she does. I don't know what she looks up. I think it's something along the lines of like, shame on you, or like, you're murderers, or something sweet. And she does that and she yells in Yiddish to them, or what she thinks is Yiddish. But the leader of the Israeli people stops, and he turns to her, which is our side, right in our vicinity. He goes, what did you say? And at this point, I didn't even realize he had a microphone with him. He had a wireless mic. I didn't realize he was like interviewing people, but I just thought he was coming over to confront us. He goes, what did you say? And they're going back and forth. She's going at him. He's going at her, trying to refute her arguments, whatever the fuck but as they're doing that, as they're quarreling, from across the street, somebody hops the barrier. Somebody who was in the crowd on the other side of the road hops the barrier, runs over to them, and snatches this guy's flag and breaks it in half and takes off running. And in the moment when this is happening, it's really like shocking. It's super fast, and it was just we were all kind of taken aback and just, like, oh, hopefully this isn't going to turn into some type of riot situation, right? Hopefully it's just one guy. No police there. I mean, there's police presence during the entire parade, all up and down the street. Like, there's police on bikes going up and down. There's police parked on every alley and every corner. Not an officer in sight when this guy literally takes this flag and breaks it in broad daylight, and no police response whatsoever. So that was a little strange to everybody in the moment, but then, they just kind of carry on. And we all collectively just kind of went, hey, just keep it moving, just keep going. Don't stop here. Just keep going, just keep it moving, and stop trying to provoke people. And we could tell at that point that that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to provoke a response by going up to random people and picking fights, Anyway, it was a weird situation. Out of curiosity, I looked it up on Google. I wanted to see if there was any news coverage of it or anything, and I couldn't find that. But what I did find was somebody had posted video of it happening on Reddit. What I didn't realize at the time was that the Reddit post was pulled from Twitter. And on Twitter, which I'll pull up now, let's take a look here. I found it on Twitter. This guy here, Yuval David, posts what happened. He's got a big old explanation of events. This dude right here is the guy. This is the guy who was holding the flag that got broken, the same one who went and confronted. He looks beautiful here. That's an immaculate headshot. I'd love to see a quote for that session, but what he doesn't look like that in person. He looks a little fugglier, but in person, he was there. He was the one confronting people, confronting our side of the parade, and doing these little interviews, I guess, for his video, which, again, none of us realized he was recording anything, I don't think. This is him, and he posts the video himself. So it's like, oh, come to find out, they were really making something out of this. And I just want you guys to tell me what you think of it in the comments.
You guys have genocide. You're rushing us. You can't hit us.
So again, this is his Twitter, and that's the guy. Again, the headshot doesn't really check out. I mean, and there's something to be said about a headshot, that it really does just capture it should capture just what you're working with in this area. Everything else, like, because he looks like me, right? So if I had a good headshot, I would do one of these. But then you go ahead and shoot a video, and then you see this. The two don't correspond. This and this. Like, this is everything Johnny Depp is trying to hide away at all costs. So it's like, well, maybe think about that, Yuval, when you post a video yourself on your Twitter. Maybe think about framing it a little better. I know it's for the cause, sure. Anyway, this is not to bash him. He's beautiful. He's gay. I love him. I love everyone involved here. Let me make that clear. Well, I didn't go over this too. I might have to slice this and put it in the beginning. But in the parade, when this girl starts going off, I kind of feel awkward. I feel like I'm in a situation where I'm like, I haven't really taken a stance one way or the other. I do feel bad about that because people are dying right now as we speak. Like, I'm sure a kid has just died right now, which is sad. It's sad to think and to know, really. And there are hostages on both ends of this that are, it's a rough thing. War is a rough, sad thing. And so, but I know plenty of Jewish sympathizers, and I know plenty of Arab sympathizers, Palestinian sympathizers, and Israeli sympathizers. A hard word. Cut me some slack. We're there. We're kind of like torn, and we're definitely not like taking a side, right? So that was just the mood of it all. So I'll go ahead and play this. So I went and did the show. I went and did my show that I was doing that night. It went well by all accounts. It was sold out. But we did that. I'm so sorry. I really apologize for that. I don't even know. I've derailed everything. The show was good. The show was great. We had a great time. Then I fucked up and I signed up for a super late mic that I love too. I really enjoy this mic every time I go, and I did that night, but I was just already so tired because I'd been up since 6:30, 7 a.m. and the open mic didn't start until 11:30 p.m. that night, and we didn't get out of there until about like 1:30. So, yikes. But it was fun, and this is footage from that. Okay, so here is the stand-up. Let's go ahead and take a look. That's Justin.
Start clapping
He's
now. Start clapping now.
really a joy.
The very funny Christian Boulder.
Tonight, this is terrible. Because I was at the Pride Parade. Okay, great. It just sucks for me, like personally. I'm so fucking exhausted and like sunburned. Were you out there? Did you flash them? Is that why you're so eager to bring your tits out? Because that was you holding up traffic? Please don't. Keep them safe. Keep them locked away at all times for me. For me.
This lady the whole time, or not the whole time, but for like all of someone's set, she just kept talking about her breasts. And she's an older woman. It was uncalled for. That's all I'll say. Nobody was asking for it. And she just kept going on and like volunteering information. And, it's like at a certain point, just take him out, right? Put up or shut up. But she didn't do that. And she wouldn't shut up, quite frankly. So I thought I would take a jab there where I could get one. And that's what that was about. So she's right off camera. She's right there. That's actually her feet in the bottom corner there. Those are her feet for scale.
I saw some crazy shit. My boyfriend and I, we saw some crazy stuff today. We saw somebody get run over by their own float. Just really, man, he was attractive. He was really good looking, man. Yeah, so this is for you. He got fucked up. He got so fucked up.
This Russian lady I'm talking to right in front of me, she had said at one point during someone else's set that she regretted missing the parade because she didn't get to see all the sexy men. That's what she was worried about, missing, which she did. Unfortunately, she didn't get to see all the sexy guys, sexy shirtless guys. And funny enough, the guy who got maimed was sexy and shirtless. So that's why I thought I could relate it to her. And I think she appreciated it.
Back was like skinned, right? He's bleeding, his legs are bleeding.
Oh,
Yeah, she's like, oh shoot, oh no.
Skinny, hot ass, put him on that float, get him the fuck out of there. The other crazy thing we saw, there's all these embassies that come out that come out and participate.
So right now, like, just not to qualify or anything, but just to preface this, I'm talking just off the cuff, based on what we saw that day. So this is like my raw interpretation of the events that played out earlier that same day. Like it's pretty unfiltered. Like I had no real time to think about it. I just decided, why not talk about it? And if it's funny, it's funny, because this is an open mic that people go to super late at night just to have fun. It's kind of just like a party. That's why they call it the nightcap, because you're capping off all the other shows and things you may or may not have done that weekend with just a laid back hang with other comedians, and then maybe there might be a few audience members, which tonight or that night there were there's that Russian lady with her friends, there's Tits with her husband over there. I don't like calling her that, but that's all she really gave. She gave me a little more. She told us she was Japanese a few times, which again no one asked. And it was like one of those like backwoods Japanese types, like the kind that it's like, well, let me hear you speak Japanese or something. Or can you write in Japanese? Can you do that at least? Because I'm not really sold, not fully sold. Like, how many generations removed from the island of Japan are you? But anyway, they were there. There was a group of college guys who I think had already left by this point when I'm going up, because they had been targeted one too many times, which was sad because I wanted my chance to target them. But anyway, raw interpretation of events from that same day. That's all this is. Let's go back just a little bit.
To they come out and participate, and one of them was the Israeli embassy. Participated. Yeah. And there was 5 people. All of Israel. 5 motherfuckers. Maybe 3 flags. And they come over to the side because everyone's going, "Free Palestine! Free Palestine!"
No, that didn't happen. Or maybe it did. I'm misremembering even a week ago. I know for a fact this white bitch started it. And then maybe I think what ended up happening was everyone else around within earshot that could hear her screaming at him, they started yelling "Free Palestine." So, and when I say everyone, I just mean like all the other kids there who just like love a good tussle. They love a good fight. So that's basically what happened. It wasn't like everyone's chanting. And when you see the video, I'll show you in a minute, that wasn't us saying like "boo" or "Free Palestine." It's like us shooing them off. Like, just go. Like, why are you lingering here? Why are you like baiting random dipshits into fighting with you?
Plenty of Jewish people, plenty of Arab people and Palestinian, supporters. So we're kind of like caught in the middle, which is not great to hear, but fuck you. That's just the way it is. And so we're sitting there listening to this, kind of just going, oh my gosh. But then these Israeli embassy representatives, they come over with their flags to the gates to be like, "What did you say? What are you saying? How about no to the violence, or no to to Hamas?" And then without skipping a beat, this guy from the other side of the parade, the other side of he jumps the fence. He sprints over to the guy confronting our side, rips his big ass flag away from him and breaks it in half, and like throws it, and then he sprints off. He's a fat motherfucker too, so he was hauling ass. But he did that shit, and like with the violence of action, he broke that big giant wooden flag, snapped it in half. And damn, if I didn't go like, "Okay, Hamas, okay, we all got it."
It's just the dumb.
I don't know what to say.
I tried to make it funny at the end, so that's what I ended up going with. We were all a little like, caught off guard though. Obviously, when somebody does something like that in the heat of the moment, it's how do you react? What do you do? What do you say? We were all kind of shaken up, just like, oh God, what's going to happen next? Is there a group of people who are going to swarm them? Is it just this guy? And he was a chubby little dude too, so it was funny to see him run. At least that was hilarious to watch. But how he vaulted that gate, I do not know. And then immediately vaulting back into the crowd that's like obstructing the fence. I wish they captured it all and posted. Let's just watch it on Twitter. So I looked it up after. I was curious to see, and way after, of course. I looked it up during the work week to find that there is footage, and that it's Mr. David Yuval David, whatever the fuck his name is, was nice enough to record it for us and post it himself. So again, here we are on Twitter, Mr. Yuval David. You can hear him, her. You can hear her yelling the Yiddish actually right here. I should just stick away him, whatever. I probably shouldn't say it. It's probably a slur. Now that I think about it, she's not saying very nice things from what I could infer. I hope it's nothing bad that like it's not good for YouTube, but whatever she said, it was enough to get his attention. And so this guy snatches this flag. So let me illustrate this for you. Off over here, he hops the fence, sprints around, goes to the nearest object he can physically reach, and grabs it out of him, which is this flag draped over his shoulder. Grabs it, snaps it in half, just like that, really swift motion, and discards it on the ground. And then he keeps running. And then he just hops. This guy runs just a couple more feet before he jumps into that crowd. And I mean, that's just a feat of athleticism more than anything. We're all frazzled. We're all caught off guard. But that's how it played out in the moment. I'm right here. My boyfriend's right here. And I'm right here. I know that because we were next to this black guy with the bucket hat the entire time too, who was with a group of black ladies, and all of them were having, shall we say, a great time. They were having a fantastic, raucous time, getting all the free shit that they could, and they would wave people over to be like, "Hey, we want that." Hey, what do you have? We want your necklace or your lanyard or whatever it is. So they were largely responsible for, I would say, half of the things we got, because they were really big in waving people down and getting them to like come over to us instead of just like throwing shit from afar. Anyway, so let's just watch it all.
I have been a lifelong LGBTQ activist. I believe in the values of protecting LGBTQ people, but they are attacking us.
Yeah, actually, so that there's us
in the middle of a pride.
So, okay. All right. So I'm examining this in real time as I'm watching it. These people are flipping them off. I see that. I acknowledge it, but look at everyone else. Everyone else is kind of just like keeping their heads down. That's my boyfriend. We're kind of looking forward. At a certain point, I start just like waving them on, just like, keep going. Like, what are you doing? Why are you stopping? Because they just were insisting on stopping to confront the crowd. Where it's like, okay, we got another float coming up. It's like, what are you doing? You're just making an unnecessary scene at this point. You know, go find the police. Like, just stop standing here is the thing. Stop standing here. And to know that they got it on recording too, yeah, go directly to the police. If you're recording, which again, none of us I think realized that they're recording this. If you're recording, take that footage of old boy sprinting during the parade, in the parade route, and taking your property and destroying it. Take that directly to any one of these fucking cops, and they'll find this fucker, because there's 10 cops planted on every corner. It's a fucking parade. That's not what they did. What they did was they continued to march. They went the whole route, I'm sure, and continued to provoke people, because it seems like that's what they set out to do, right?
March. Am I not supposed to be welcome within my own LGBTQ community because I am Jewish, because I'm Israeli? We have people of all nationalities here.
And it's kind of sparse. Look, we're listening to his little speech while the white bitch is shouting him down. We're listening to that. All the while, the footage we're watching are of different areas of the parade and possibly the festival the next day.
In the middle of a pride march.
Our group here, we're telling him, hey, just keep going. And this frame, it's just a couple people shouting them down. And you know you're going to get shit from these people. They brought their own Palestinian flag. for crying out loud. What did you think was going to happen?
To be welcome within my own LGBTQ community.
Look, she's looking away. These people don't give a shit. This person doesn't give a shit. It's like mainly these three, or just this one with her boobies out. Love that for her.
Because I am
Two people. What do we care about two people for?
Jewish, because I'm Israeli. We have people of
Well, okay, one lady.
all
Or one outspoken non-binary person. Who gives a
nationalities
fuck?
here, all different types of LGBTQ people, and we're being booed right now. Woo!
Again, I'll say the audio they're playing is one situation that they're piping in over all these different scenes. It's not really an accurate representation of what I'm sure was happening throughout the day. Maybe just a few instances. And yes, a few instances are, quite frankly, to a degree unacceptable of being booed and shouted at when it is a parade. They're not marching with these flags being like, or they weren't on the outset being like, death to Hamas or Hamas will be destroyed, or I don't even know what any of the Israeli propaganda slogans are. I honestly don't know. I haven't been keeping track. I know all the Palestinian ones because those are the ones that get thrown around the most. I feel like Free Palestine for one. When they were marching, they were just carrying Jewish coded pride flags, and then there were there's going to be some dipshits, just like with any other ongoing crisis. There are dipshits everywhere that try to make noise and stir, but it was not to scale of what's being represented here. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but part of me began to think, well, what if this whole thing was staged?
In an LGBTQ community and movement, in a pride march that is supposed to be inclusive of everybody, I have never in my life felt more excluded, and it is heartbreaking. But I march on. So to every Jew, to every LGBTQ Jew and our allies, there are still people who chant and support us.
This was the majority. What they're showing here, like people with hearts and just like having a good time, showing support. This is how most people reacted. That one section, the section that I am in with my boyfriend, the two of us, where they literally had their flag broken by someone. That was the only instance of like a physical altercation, and I would say that's probably one of, I'm sure, just a tiny little handful of incidents all weekend that they were harassed. I would love to be proven wrong. I'm sure they have more video. I'm not sure what Yuval David here is willing to show or unwilling to show, but this is my message to you. Hey, I was there. I witnessed probably the climax of what happened, and I think I have depicted it pretty clearly and fairly. I would love to talk to you, sir, because I don't know the name of the person who assaulted you, but I'd love to get to the bottom of how your day went, of what exactly you were there to accomplish, why you were interviewing people, what your stated objective was for being there in the first place, and was it just to have a good time, just to enjoy Pride? Other people were enjoying Pride without microphones, without making, without trying to get a clip. I mean, yeah, McDonald's tried to get a clip. And yeah, I guess all the corporations tried to get clips too. So, hey, maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. Did this start off as just promotional material for whatever organization or club you're a part of? Was this on behalf of the Israeli embassy in D.C.? What was your whole deal? Why were you there? I would love to just get into it and see how your weekend went. That's all this video is. I really just want to put out a message and say, hey, if you see this, if this gets to you, would love to understand how everything unfolded before and after the events of Capitol Pride. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have up to this point, appreciate it. I don't really post here, so I don't expect anyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm not asking you to do that because, I mean, it's a desolate wasteland. But if you would be so kind as to go to my Instagram, Balmerboy, BALMERB0Y, that's Balmerboy with a 0 on Instagram. Please follow me there. That's where you'll be able to find all of my comedy updates and show info coming up. I do an open mic every Wednesday and an open mic every other Monday, both in DC. So again, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, Yuval David, this one goes out to you. Please reach out, DM me on Instagram, and we'll get to the bottom of this. You or someone else who in your group, if someone else is in charge, would love to hear from you. Maybe we can have a sit-down conversation. I do a podcast. Maybe we can do a podcast. We can do a sit-down conversation like this that I can edit after. However you want to do it. Ball's in your court, bud. But I don't want to make this too conspiracy coded, but it did seem a little set up. But I'd love to hear that it wasn't. And I would love to hear that you were just as shocked as we all were. And I would love to hear if you know if anything happened to that guy, if he wasn't an actor. I'd love to, because it was just so seamless. It just happened so quickly, and he was able to just get away seemingly scot-free. I guess I could do more research and find out like who got arrested that day, but I'm sure a lot of motherfuckers got arrested for being indecent during the Pride Parade. So that's a safe bet. So I'm not going to go sift through the public records. I'm not really a journalist, but I am curious just personally to know what the hell was going on there. Anyway, I'm dragging this out. Bye-bye.